Good morning. Haven't even drunk my coffee. This computer is too extravagant. It's instantaneous. You know, the old computer, it was like you had to wait a minute between videos, and now it's like sorry. Anyway, we are in Job, chapter 2. Lots of things to talk about from verse 1. You could talk all day about all this. I wish I had a little more space on this table. I'm going to move this a little bit there. And then I feel like I need to move the camera like that. I don't know. I don't have it right yet. I apologize. Still figuring it out. It's a little better, but not really worried about that. I'm thinking about the Bible. Last time in Job chapter 1, what a horrible opening to the book of Job. Who would ever want to read this book? His whole family gets murdered by Satan and a bunch of weirdos that are allowed to burn the place down and abduct his daughters and tear everything to shreds. And Satan is up there talking to God like, "Hey Tom, how's business?" And you're like, I thought Satan was the bad guy. What is he doing talking to God? Maybe you could look at it from the perspective of, could this be before Satan's fall? I don't think so. I think it's just the reality, that he did rebel, but he still gets to run around there because of Adam's fall. So maybe that gives him permission to still come up there and talk to God. I don't know. Or maybe he thinks he's the boss when he's not, I think that's a reality. I think that's always how it's been. Satan thinks that he's the king, and he will be the king, he thinks, but God knows better. God has this all planned out. It was planned out. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. And he was, before Abraham was, I am. So I think Jesus was the plan before any of this, Satan's smart. He sees prophecy. He knows there is a Messiah, and he's looking to corrupt it always, and he's always trying to hurt the bloodline. Chris says a lot of good things. He says a lot of weird things, but he says a lot of good things too. Chris was talking about bloodlines. Feels like a long time ago, but he had a very good point about that. What's the consistent story element throughout the Bible? It is Satan trying to corrupt bloodlines. Because if Satan can infiltrate into a bloodline that God prepares years and years and years and years and years, thousands of years beforehand, that's what he's going to try and do. Remember, it's 14 generations from Adam to Abraham, and then 14 from Abraham to David, and then another 14 from David to Jesus, right? 14, 14, 14. I had that the other day, counting my drawer, by the way. Hey, that's like jackpot. Anyway, we are in chapter 2. So Job survives this satanic barrage in chapter 1. His whole life has been ruined. Now it's going to get even worse. I can't take this. I can't read the Bible. This is so miserable. All right, let's read it and think about it. Because I don't know about you, but it's a reality in my life, you know. Not to be negative. I'm not trying to be negative here, but we see all this all around us. Basically, white people are being set up to be destroyed. I mean, if you really look at the stuff going on, I mean, you can try. I mean, we should express love, but we also don't have to be stupid about it. You know, it's set up for us. For a white male, you're in trouble, you know. So if you have any kids that are white males, make sure they know the reality of what's going on. We are set up to be, you know, I don't want to say anything too harsh, but it's true. So if you know that's going on right now, it makes it easier to read Job, because this is something that is probably going to happen to all of us if we don't get another conservative in there. We're doomed. They're just gonna run. They're just gonna throw me into the camps. So anyway, let's read chapter 2 of Job. Let's be positive though. Yeah! Chapter 2 of Job, verse 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. The pleasantries, you know. 3. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God, and escheweth evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movedst me against him, to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord, and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die! Must be named Karen. Sorry. 10. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. Now when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came, every one from his own place, Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite. For they had made an appointment together to come to mourn with him and to comfort him. And when they lifted up their eyes afar off, and knew him not, they lifted up their voice, and wept, and they rent every one his mantle, and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward heaven. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great. All right, take a break. Look at the notes in the next video. Praise God.